Mars. Missing air might just be hiding. And Mars, once warm and wet, has left many clues. Rather than having had its air knocked out into space, Mars might just be holding its breath. New findings suggest the missing atmosphere of Mars might be locked up in hidden reservoirs on the planet, rather than having been blown away by billions of years worth of solar winds, as previously thought. New thinking on Mars. Is Mars waking up? Combining 2 years of observations by the European Space Agency's Mars Express spacecraft, researchers have determined that Mars is currently losing only about 20 grams of air per second into space. Extrapolating this measurement back over 3.5 billion years, they estimate that only a very small fraction, 0.2 to 4 millibars of carbon dioxide and just a few centimeters of water could have been lost to solar winds during that time frame. A bar is a unit for measuring pressure. Earth's atmospheric pressure is about 1 bar. The missing greenhouse. According to the warm and wet early Mars model, liquid water once flowed on the red planet's surface. Evidence from channels and gullies recently spotted on Mars suggests the water layer might have been more than half a mile deep in places. For Mars to keep that much water in liquid form, the planet must have had a much higher atmospheric temperature, which scientists think was made possible by a strong greenhouse effect in the planet's past. Yes, Mars is the future new Earth, the new man-made or humankind Garden of Eden for the future. It's possible to terraform Mars. Very possible. Mars' atmosphere must have been between 1 to 5 bars to maintain that kind of greenhouse effect, scientists now think. But Mars' atmospheric pressure today is only a small fraction of that, approximately 0.008 bars, or about 0.7% of the average surface pressure at sea level on Earth. What has happened to Mars' atmosphere, and by association, is water? Its water is one of the central mysteries surrounding the red planet today. Hidden reservoir? Where the atmosphere went is still unclear, but scientists now speculate that it might still be contained somewhere beneath the Martian surface. Water and air in hiding? Well, water and air and light are all the same thing, just different forms of it. And water is life, and water is alive. It's all about life. Uncovering what happened to Mars' atmosphere is key to understanding the overall evolution of the planet. It could also help to answer the question of whether life might have once existed there. We can show that conditions on early Mars were really moderate, but the temperature was sufficiently high and there was plenty of water. And it's possible that some form of life might have existed on Mars in the past. Nonetheless, Mars is the future. future new planet Earth, some kind of way. So new theories about ancient Mars puts fears back in the idea that the red planet was once warm, wet, and potentially habitable. Many studies have suggested that early Mars was covered by large oceans and blanketed by a thick atmosphere rich in carbon dioxide, stuff that puts a bubbly zing in soda. But if that's all true, then when the oceans evaporated, a lot of the carbon dioxide should have turned into what scientists call carbonates, which should be strewn all over the place. Problem is, the carbonates aren't there. One recent study found trace amounts in Martian dust, just enough to conclude that Mars probably didn't have vast oceans like we know it. The new model provides a way around this problem. It suggests the chemistry of Martian seas was different than has been assumed, so the clues have been missed. If the seas of Mars were moderately acidic, in scientific terms a pH under 6 instead of the pH of 8 common to terrestrial oceans, then carbonates could not have formed. Mars today holds vast stores of frozen water. This is very important. At its poles and even in the ground, underground, just like on Earth, away from the polar regions. Scientists think there used to be more, in part because of pictures that show what appear to be shorelines, riverbeds, and tremendous gorges carved by flowing water. Ongoing chemical investigations by rovers and orbiting spacecraft have turned up more evidence that there used to be standing and running water on the red planet. Carbon dioxide dominates the atmosphere of the red planet today, yet the air is thin. Many models show that the atmosphere would have been thicker during the first billion years of Mars. However, alien oceans. Scientists now think that Mars was covered by really alien oceans 4.5 billion years ago, shortly after the planet formed. These ancient oceans probably lasted for near a billion years, totally covering the northern plains of the planet. Their chemistry was perhaps very different from those on Earth, and this is the reason why their existence has been so disputed. They left no Earth-like sediments, such as carbonate minerals. Iron and sulfur acidified the oceans, promoting a chemical evolution totally different to that in Earth's oceans. But still, there's still water on Mars, and it is possible to terraform a planet. Is Mars waking up?